And we have gathered today to get an insight in the field of MS and PhD and higher education from our alumnus, who we can definitely say is an OP alumnus. Okay, so because he has done a ton of things, like first of all, from being an AI enthusiast to solve healthcare, who wants to solve healthcare problems, right? To having done tons and tons of internship and being a nationalist and finalist in many hackathons, and now on his way to complete second masters. Right, I would like to introduce our alumnus Dhiraj Bhaiya here. So, hi Dhiraj Bhaiya.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Student Counseling Service, and of course, Vikrant and Divyanshu for organizing such a great session. And yeah, and thank you to all of the attendees who are today present here. And I hope I will be able to meet the expectations. And for a little bit, I would like to give my introduction, a brief introduction. So yeah, I completed my bachelor's in mechanical engineering in 2020, and following my junior year I had a research internship in UK at University of Leicester in the field of AI in medical science. And then after the undergrad I worked for 6 to 8 months back in India, and then I left my job to pursue my two masters here. So currently I am pursuing a master's in computer science as well as a master's in life science, and my research is in the field of AI in agriculture science. So yeah, and I'm very happy to take your questions on AI or on any other domain which you want.
Right. So okay, so there's just one form that I floated in the chat, and that could be visited by our attendees. Yeah, and right after the meet. Okay, so right, so coming back to the questions, right? Start, right? So first question first, like being from a mechanical branch and trying to solve problems on the lines of biology, right? It's a circular-based solution, yeah, right? So like, how did you start doing that? Like, how did you get into this?
Yeah, so when I was in second year, okay, so in 2017, so at that time I was really confused with which career I should choose. So I contacted to a lot of alumni, seniors, with the LinkedIn, and even I third and fourth year seniors. So after getting the information from them, I got to know that there are not so many opportunities in the core. Okay, and I at that time my goal was just to get a job. Okay, I was not thinking about masters, PhD, research, nothing. I just need one good job. So most of my seniors they suggested me to start doing a coding. So I started doing the competitive programming on Hacker Earth and whatever websites are there, CodeShape. And then I did the competitive programming for 4 to 5 months in my third and fourth semester. And then in the summer of second year, I was introduced to the ML area because one of my roommate, okay, he was doing the project in ML, and I asked him what is this, and when I watched a few videos of ML from the Coursera, it really brought an interest in me because I was interested in the maths and probability strategies, and these courses were in ML. So from there, my journey started on. And in the third year of we have a internship session in the beginning of the third year. So um, yeah, I had a plan to sit for the companies, but after 1 month, I realized that competitive programming, I do not want to go in the competitive programming, and I switched my field from competitive programming to ML in the third year of in my third year. And then I contacted to one of my senior, and I wanted to go in this field. And that guy had done the research internship in, I think, Taiwan. So he guided me to
Uh,
apply for the research internship. Hello.
yeah, someone should turn their mic off. Actually, there's an echo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, from third year, my career switched from competitive programming to ML, and then on I focused entirely on my ML area. And then I did internship. I even got a job, and yeah, I mean, and right now I'm doing my research in AI in agriculture science. So this was my short journey, I would say.
Right. That's a very nice journey, and like it's what we aspire for these days, actually. So that is something great. Like so, okay. So as you said that you initially were in CP, and after that you switched to ML, right? And from doing that, and from doing that, winning this hackathon, right? What was
Yeah.
the like? So how did you start doing that? Like, how did you? What was the experience? How did you like get your prepare yourself to that stage that you could win that hackathon? Being a finalist of a hackathon. So,
Yeah, in third year, I guess it was sixth semester,
yeah.
and we got to know, I and one of my partner, his name is Costa. We got to know that there is a hackathon organized by EXL. So we just participated it. We were not thinking to win or like go. So we just participated it, but after the first stage, when we qualified after the first for the second stage, it really brought in motivation, and from the second stage we started believing in ourselves that we can win this hackathon. Okay, and we just implemented whatever the techniques we had learned, and that how we went on to win this hackathon.
Okay, so okay, right. So, it was it your first hackathon or like a?
Yeah, it was my first hackathon.
Oh, that's definitely an overkill there.
And
Like,
I would say thanks to like my partner, because initially I was not interested. Okay, and he handled all the like work in the first stage, and in the second and the third, I handle all the like coding and whatever I had to prepare for it.
oh, right, that is cool. And right, so after that hackathon, you got a PPO right from that as well.
Yeah. So this was a really, you can say, moral boost for me, because in the summer of third year, I was going for summer research internship, and on top of that, I had a almost PPO.
Right.
Okay, so and I mean, I I really felt comfortable that okay, now I have a job offer, almost I have a job offer, and I'm going for research internship, which is very unlikely. I mean, for
Yeah, agreed, agreed. Like you had almost all your doors open right there.
yeah,
Right. So, okay. So, like, yeah, the research internship. So, like, you got your first research internship in University of Leicester, right? And
yeah.
how did you land it, and what was the experience there?
My experience was, I mean, really great, and I would say that today I'm doing the research in US. All it's because I went to UK. Because I mean, when I was in India, I mean, I spent 3 years of my undergrad before going to UK, and I realized that in India, especially in our institute, there is not a great research environment. Okay, motivating environment for the research. And but when I was in UK, in just in 3 months I could do so much that I couldn't do in 3 years of my life back in India. So, and while doing the research, I realized that my interest lies mostly in the field of AI and ML, and that too in the research rather than in the industry. Okay. So, and after the, I mean, internship, I focused, I talked to my seniors, alumni, and I said to them, I want to go for the masters. Okay, at least for the masters, I'm not sure about the PhD. And I want to get a master's program, which is a research-based program, not the course. Okay, and luckily I got this program, and today I'm here.
Okay. So, but what was the process like? How did you write the SOP? What was the LOR that you had and all of it?
Yeah, so see, after my bachelor's undergrad, I had I had not made a plan to come to masters immediately after my bachelor's. My plan was to work for 2 years. Okay, and I was planning to come in the fall of 2022. Okay, but something happened. In the month of May 2020, my company where I was placed in Excel,
Yes.
They informed me that they have postponed the joining, okay, to 2021. So I mean, it was later they called me back, but this was not a good news for me, and I was going to stay in the house for like 8 to 9 months. So I was quite active. Today I'm also going to show you that whoever is looking for academia positions, okay, try to be active on Twitter. Twitter is for academia positions and LinkedIn is for like industry work. Okay, so I was quite active on Twitter, and even today I'm active. And I saw a post that they are hiring a student who has expertise in ML and AI. So I just randomly applied it. I had no plan to go for the master. I just randomly applied it. I contacted professor, and then professor took my interview for around 2 hours. Okay, and then he's after 15 days, 2 weeks, he emailed me that he wants to hire me, and if I want to accept this program, I can go and apply for on the like official website. Then I was not sure whether I should accept this program or not, so I contacted to a lot of my alumni who were in US and some of my seniors back in India, and they suggested me that this is a good opportunity because this was a funded masters, and of course this field has also a lot of opportunities in the future. So after discussing with my seniors alum, I decided to give it a shot, and I came in the January. So I had no plan to come to US originally. I would say it was all based on the luck.
Right. Also, I'd like to ask that since you have been, and you said that IIT BHU does not have a great research into environment right here, but like how do you contrast between the faculties and the facilities that are provided over such great institutes in UK, like institutes like Leicester, and also in back in India and IIT? Like how different are they?
So even in US, I'm doing my research. Okay, um, so one thing which I realize is funding. Okay, without the funding, you cannot have a great research environment. And I funding means the funding from the government, funding from industries. Okay, just to go to university so that the university can start focusing on the research. Like right now, I just yesterday I had a one. There is a one grant. So we write a grant to send to government organizations to fund us, and they give a lot of millions of dollars. Okay, so what happened, like my advisor is writing one grant of $1 million. If his grant is getting accepted, then he will hire the students, okay, on a good stipend and funded masters or PhD. So one of the things that I think IIT lack is getting the funding from organizations and the government. If you bring a more funding in the research or in the R&D organization, your institute will definitely go high.
Right. Okay. And you also mentioned that like you are from you that you are doing your BTech in mechanical, right? So and like how did you think that the coursework that we have here, right? Since it has not changed much, so how do you think that it is? Well, is it a bit helpful? Is it not like even the open elective?
So yeah, when we were in IIT BHU, the course materials, like teacher were teaching the course materials are like very old course materials of even like 40 years old, 30 years old. But in US, I have like um, past 3 semesters, and the courses designed here are very new. Okay, and like I am showing you recently, you if you guys have started watching Shark Tank back in India. Okay, I remember there is a one episode in which a guy came from South India and they discussed about AI device that is fitted in the ear of animal. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is a PhD project here. Okay, I know many students who have done the PhD, and that technique, okay, and that technique was included in one of my lectures by the professor here. So if you are, I mean, why I get this example, because we are being taught in the subjects a very latest technology, latest research in the course. So this is one of the, I mean, the professors should start thinking to update their course materials, which are relevant for the, students. Suppose, take up for example, I come from mechanical. Take from an example of fluid mechanics. Okay, so fluid mechanics, there is a lot of applications of machine learning in the fluid mechanics. Okay, so professor has to update a course material. Okay, what's the application of machine learning in fluid mechanics?
That's great.
So if you don't uh, expose your students, then students will not be able to know and they will not develop the interest.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Definitely agreed. Actually, yeah, like yeah, most of the people have stopped like going to classes by the second year, and like in the first year itself, people are like not interested. So that was a definitely a ask. I want to ask this question, right? Also, like you mentioned that you were initially into CP, and then you came their way to the make your way to the ML, and then you were focusing on ML only, right? And the whole internship process, the whole third year process of internship. So, like, what were distractions that you faced, and how did you overcome that? Like, how was it? Actually, the more important question is like, did peer pressure affect you in that sense? Because obviously, seeing your peers getting some intern and all others getting something else, doing something else, and having a different path for you, does that make a difference? Like, how did you overcome that?
So it never affected me, but I'm telling you one story. It was when I was in UK and I was about to leave the UK after my internship. So I started reading the messages on my WhatsApp group of the students who were getting the PPO, and they had done the internship in industry. So at that time, I felt, okay, have I done something wrong, or because I'm going to sit for the placement season? Okay, at that time, I mean, and but I'm really grateful that I had some seniors, and I just texted to them, look, I was in summer for my summer research internship, and my classmates are posting that they have got the internship in HUL or in big companies. But then they said me, look, your path is different. Okay, it's not that you are doing anything wrong, or you can be also in a good stage in some point of your life. So I did feel the peer pressure at some stage when my friends were getting a job offers, better job offers than me. But then I realized that I'm also doing something unique or something special, and I should focus on myself. One good thing about me is that I never compare myself to anyone else, and this is what I suggest to my juniors.
Okay, never compare yourself to anyone else.
No, never. Your path is different.
Yeah, different lives, different paths, so different ways. Agreed. So like, okay, so this one thing like, okay, so over the years you are now veteran right in this field, having done doing your second master's, right? So you must have some experiences and like something that you would like to share that you should not have done or you should have done while you were like you were in second or third year back in college, right? Some mistakes that seem pretty obvious now, which did not seem that that obvious in that period of time, maybe
So
something like
one mistake, yeah, that I did is I watched a lot of TV movies and shows, and of course it is fine, okay. But I think that I had a lot of time to focus on my personal development, okay, and especially I could have done more to have a good research profile, okay, and that I did not focus on it because maybe till second year my focus was just to get a job, okay, and from third year I started focus, okay, I want to go for research internship, and then I didn't get a time in the fourth year. So if I could go back um, to my undergrad time, in the first year, of course, we focus on building our network, talking to seniors, that is fine. But from second year, I think I should have started working on projects under a professor, okay, and that would have like added a lot of um, I mean post to my profile.
gravitative file, right? Right. So Any do's and don'ts that you like to suggest to juniors, like specific do's that this are must do's that you should do?
So one thing I would say must is if you are in IT and you must focus on building a good network. Okay, your network is net worth. Okay, what I would suggest, like today, whoever I am or whatever I am, it's all because of my alumni and seniors. Good guidance from them. So what I would suggest, especially to first year students, okay, if you are new to the college or the second year, just connect to the alumni seniors on LinkedIn, get to know them, okay, build a good relationship. Today I have a such a good network that if I want to make a career in any field, I can connect to them and I can ask them suggestions and advice. Okay, and I have also learned a good skills to build a good relationship with them. Okay,
Right.
so if you build a good relationship with alumni and seniors, it's going to help you a lot. And being from IIT, you should take this advantage.
All right. Okay,
So
good.
one thing I would say must make a
Just
good
to,
relationship with the seniors and alumni.
right. Okay. And like, so you mentioned that you have done your MS in yeah, in resume you could see that you have done your MS in plant pathology as well, right? And
So yeah, so what happened that I joined this master's program initially as a master MS in life science and whatever plant pathology, but my research was in AI and agriculture science. Okay, so Virginia Tech, there are some universities like Virginia Tech and I think Wisconsin. Okay, they give the students flexibility that you can have a two master's degree from two separate departments. So I enrolled for that master's degree in computer science because my whole research was in AI. Okay, so I just enrolled for that, and my advisor was supportive. He approved my application for the second master's, and yeah, I'm currently pursuing my both the masters simultaneously, MS in computer science and MS in life science, and I'll be defending my masters in next summer 2023.
okay, so best of luck for that, always.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
right, so what is the interdisciplinary like? Really, what is interdisciplinary in this part of the research world that you are? Because like you are
Yeah.
focusing on your biola part also, and also on your CS other part
Yes.
together, right?
Yeah. So that's a great thing, you Kushas. I just applied for one program in US, and this program is being like organized by US Department of Agriculture government, and they were looking for interdisciplinary people. Okay, those people who have a background in engineering and as well as in like agriculture science. So my profile fit perfectly in that, and probably I'll be selected. So um, this really having a background from mechanical and then computer science and now agriculture science, it has helped me a lot to think to solve the problems using the technology
Yeah.
in a particular domain. Okay, and because now suppose right now I'm doing my project on drones. Okay, so since I have to integrate the machine learning and drones and then use this technology in the agricultural field.
Yeah.
So here I am able to utilize my skills that I have learned in machine learning, especially in like mechanics. Okay, and then ML of computer science, and then how I use the agriculture science. So I have to identify the plants types, what are the species in the field. So agricultural science background is helping me to solve the core problems of the agriculture. And one flexibility that I have at Virginia Tech is I haven't enrolled for more than 2 3 courses in agriculture. Okay, because my advisor had told me that you are new in this area, and if you start taking the biology courses and chemistry courses, it will be difficult for you because you will not be able to focus on research. So he told me that just take 2 to 3 courses that are important for your research from agriculture, and rest you can take the courses from computer science. Okay, so I would say right now I don't have. I mean, I won't say I'm 100% good in agriculture science, neither I'm 100% good in computer science. Okay, but I can use these skills, okay, to be stand out among the even the agricultural science students and even the computer science students. So you don't need to be 100% perfect in a one particular domain. Okay, what you can do, you can use your skills from the different domains and you can be competent in that domain area.
Right. Okay. So like a jack of all trade is what we
Yeah.
need, what world needs right now, right? Right. And like, okay, so you mentioned that you had an offer of funded MS, right?
Mhm.
Like the most of the people here have this like have this barrier because of economical barrier as well, right? That they cannot pursue their masters because of the economical barrier. But getting a funded MS is something that that everyone would like to know how you did that. Like, how did you get a funded MS
Yeah,
and a
so
funded
for
PhD?
past 1.5 year, I haven't spent a single penny on my education. Okay, neither my living expense or anything. So yeah, the economical barrier was there for me as well. I knew that my family is not going to support me for like 40, 50 lakhs on such a high expenses. So I knew that if I have to go for masters, I have to figure out my solutions. And for that reason, I wanted to work for a few years. Okay, and then I know that working for 2 years I won't be able to build 40, 50 lakh profile back in India. But yeah, I had options of getting a loan. Okay, but as soon as I got this offer, I accepted it. And one of the reasons why I got this offer, I asked to my advisor, "Why did you hire me?" Okay, so he told me he saw two, three things. The first is, of course, I had an international research experience, so he knew that okay, I can speak in English. Okay, I'll be comfortable because you have to be good in English. At least your communication skills should be good. And the second thing, he saw that I was from IIT. Okay, so he was an Indian. Okay, so he knew that okay, if a IT guy comes, he will bring a value to my program. Okay, and he needed someone from and third point that favored in me was he needed someone from interdisciplinary, someone who has a engineering skills and a AI/ML, and he can like someone who is flexible in implementing his skills in any domain. And I was in that. I to me it didn't matter whether it is agriculture or medical or like business. So I was quite flexible with that.
Right. Okay. Like so, this idea of solving agricultural problems with the help of AI, right? So, was it your first idea? Like, was it something that you developed over the years? Like, initially, it was like solving healthcare problems, right? And
Yeah,
then, yeah. So, and then it came to this. So, would you say that, like, not being from a CSE branch specific, like, in this field, helped you?
probably yes.
Yeah.
I think if you consider especially the CS students, they may not accept this offer, okay, because they would say, okay, I will go for applied AML research. Okay, currently I'm doing application based AML research. Okay, so they may not accept it. So that field was like you can say that position was vacant, and I was able to fill that position because I had a skills.
Right. 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 So, that helps. Okay. And like, how did you select Virginia Tech? What like out of all the colleges that you prepared for your like, you must have prepared some brochure of a list of colleges that you would apply to for your MS, right? And
No, I didn't apply anywhere else because I got this offer from the Twitter and I just accepted it.
but did you had something in mind, like for
Yeah,
example,
I have a mind. Still, I have a mind that I may if I plan for the PhD next year from the fall, I'll apply for other universities, not Virginia Tech,
yeah,
because I want to choose a different university. Yeah.
yeah. So like, as you mentioned that yeah, you want to apply to different. So like, what are your like criteria? How are you going to apply that? What are your process, shortlisting process of universities, and like what will be the application process basically for you?
So yeah, first of all, I will compare my profile, research profile, to the students who are getting admitted in the PhD in other university. Like suppose if I'm trying for Stanford or like UCLA, so I'll go to the I'll talk to the students who have been admitted into that program, and I'm sure there are so many of our alumni who are in different universities, and then ask them to review my profile. Okay, that what do you think, will I be accepted into this program or not. So this is my first step, that asking to the alumni and the seniors who are in that university. And then I will, maybe I may, and my second step is email the professors, okay, of the lab you are interested in, okay, and ask them if they are in the position of hiring, because emailing is very important, especially for the PhD applications, because if that lab is not hiring a PhD student, it's not good. I mean, your application will be rejected. Okay, so you need to know whether your lab is hiring or not. Okay,
Okay.
so my second step would be to go ahead, email, and then make a Excel sheet, okay, of universities, which university I'm going to apply, and whether this, and try to divide the universities into the three categories: ambitious, moderate, and where you can get easily. Okay, and then and try to have a balance. Like if you are applying if you're applying in 10 universities, 3 universities sort of ambitious, 3 of moderate, and 3 of like easy where you can get the admission. And final suggestion that I would like to give is, before, if you get an offer of a PhD, uh, try to contact to the students of that, the advisor that you would be working under on, because this is very important. One thing I want to say you is, in US, academia is very toxic. Okay,
Okay.
if you do not get a good advisor, your life will be hell. Okay, so you need to know whether this advisor will respect you in the future or not, and how you can know, talk to his students.
Right. Right. So as you mentioned that you talk to seniors in different colleges and universities from
Mhm.
our alumnus, right? So how did you get to connect with them? By Twitter only, or like how did you get the connection to them?
No, means LinkedIn.
Local.
Yeah, generally LinkedIn I use it. Yeah.
Right. So
Or maybe Facebook, if you know.
yeah. So basically, social media के through
Yeah.
आपने. Okay, nice. Also, okay, this is done, and right. So the next question is like, what is your experience at Virginia Tech? Like, what are your, how did you like? You, I heard that you are also like you're, sorry that you also published a paper in Springer that got published in Springer, right? So what is all of it about? Like,
Yeah, that was not in Virginia Tech. It was, that paper was from research internship that I did in UK.
okay,
So far my experience at Virginia Tech has been really, I would say, memorable and great, because I achieved. I'm on the stage of achieving all the things that I had dreamed before coming to US, and Virginia Tech is one of a top university in US, especially in agriculture domain. Okay, in AI and even in computer science. If you check out the website of computer science, it's in top 40 in computer science in US and in world. So they have a, and Virginia Tech is especially known for research. Okay. No, if you're targeting for ML research, of course, Virginia Tech is not a great university for ML research, but if you're targeting for the domains like uh, programming and some other fields, and especially agriculture, Virginia Tech is one of the top university in US.
all right. So again, like what? Okay, so you told me that the paper was of you from the internship at UK, right? So
Hmm.
like, how was it like, and what is the process that you went through, right, for the paper? Like,
So yeah,
if you're publishing a paper in a with this respected journal is a very big thing. So
yeah. So in UK, I was working on that project with one guy. He was also from IIT Goa, and currently he is doing his masters from New York University in computer science. So we worked together on that project, and we published together. So, but there was a barrier. I totally agree. When you were going to publish the paper, um, so my advisor, like he was a Chinese, and he told me that, see, if you have to publish the paper, either you pay the whatever the fee that you have to pay, or one thing you can do is you can add a people in your paper, okay, and they can pay the fee of paper publishing, okay, because it is quite expensive, I know. So they added third and fourth authors from China. Okay, I even don't know them. Okay, they are just on the paper authors, because my advisor had a connection back in Chennai because he was Chinese, and he just added, and from there we got accepted our paper. So yeah, this is one of the big problem I would say at AVHU. So what I like, so many of my juniors have contacted to me. I want to publish the paper. So one suggestions I give to them is that that's why you need to work under the professor in IDVHU, and he can help you out.
All right. So, okay. So that is also one thing. So, like, is that a part of the toxicity in the academia that you were like mentioning earlier?
Hmm.
Right.
No, no, not research. Toxicity is that advisor will verbally abuse you, or he will mentally harass you, or it may be that suppose you have a deadline of some thesis submission, and then he will say, no, you are not doing great work. You need to stay here for more 6 months or 1 month. Okay, so he will keep postponing it. Okay, so that's the main problem actually here.
Right. Fortunate that like you don't have to. Well,
Yeah, especially if you are a women, okay, and you are doing a PhD. Suppose you are suppose you have a family, you are married, okay, so you may face a problem here. Okay.
all right. Okay. So okay. So always choose a good advisor, right? Always have your research done before
Yeah,
doing any
so
research.
I mean, before PhD you need to know how is it advisor with his students.
Okay. Okay. Right. Also, okay. So like after yeah, people also say this that there's this paradigm that people just do one master's and then go to a PhD, right? And they
Hmm.
like yours is a different thing. You have done your second master's on the way, right? So
Yeah,
like so why did you take this leap? Like
I see when I was in second year in India. So I was talking to my seniors, and I told them that I want to do the master's in computer science. And at that time in 2017, there was no senior I knew that who had gone for master's in computer science. I knew seniors who are in data science or I mean management, or like the courses, professional courses related to computer science, but not pure computer science. So I do want I wanted to go to computer science. Um, but before coming to US, I mean my advisor had told me back in India that okay, uh, I talked to him that see, your degree is in MS in life science, and it may be that if I'm targeting for big tech companies, I may have a issues in visa. Okay, so I want my degree that can be like good for applying for the big tech companies. Then he figured out the ways, and then he told me, okay, this is the option that you have. There were two options. The first is I could have a interdisciplinary degree and just have a one master's, and then other option that I had is that pursue the MS in life science as well as in the computer science. So he gave me both the options, and I selected the second one.
right. So also so like you said that you will be doing a PhD next fall, right? Next summer.
Hmm.
Right. So like what after that? Like after the PhD, are you planning to do a research based work in a some university or like go to some big MNC now?
So I'm still 90-80% sure that after the masters I'm going to work rather than I'm not going to apply for PhD, but I'm flexible with that. If I get a good offer, if I go to get a good PhD offer, I may accept it. Yeah, and my plan is not to stay in academia, not to be professor or researcher. I'm planning for like go to industry
Right.
even after the PhD.
Okay, so that brings us to my next question. That like having worked as a like you did say that you had a job for a couple of months, right, from in AXL, and that means that you have your industry exposure as well, right? So like having worked as a PA and even Virginia Tech, you're doing both the application side of the ML thing, right? So what are the differences in the work culture, sort of, and like what all things you do that an AI engineer might not be doing in such an MNC like a or company or industry?
Yeah, so that's a good question. One thing I would suggest is like this is a very niche area. Okay. And what my advisor also told me, and I realized I just went to one conference, and it is one of the biggest conference in US, especially in agriculture science. It was the 75th conference. So in that conference, I saw only three universities, okay, that were presenting the research in AI in agriculture science. One was me, of course, from Virginia Tech. Another was Texas A&MU universities, and the third was Purdue. Okay, so and I got the first award. So at that time, I realized that there are not so many competitions in this area. Okay, and I can use my skills, ML, engineering, whatever, in the agriculture to stand out among others. Okay. So I have selected a niche area where not there are not a lot of competitions, and I can be in the top 1%.
Right.
So that is and if you take a general computer science students, okay, so they will go to masters in computer science or PhD in computer science, and of course they will be targeting for top conferences like NeurIPS, CVPR, okay, but there are huge competitions, okay. The people will be from all the top universities, okay, and you even if your work is even if your research is top notch, um, you may not be like in top 1% or top 2%. So in this area competition is village, and I'm able to you can say stand out.
Right. So you are to like you have a room for yourself here.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not saturated enough. It's right. So that helps. Right. Okay. And like okay. So how was your time at IIT? Like what are classes did you participate in? Because these we are all freshers, right? And like we would love to know this that like what are the must do's of an IIT PhD?
So when you are in first year, okay, explore I mean contact with the seniors and alumni, and join the clubs, okay, meet to the people. One thing I would suggest, in the first year you should not be focusing too much on your career future. Just build a good relationship. Just join the clubs, alumni, seniors, connect to them, get to know them, what's going on. And from the second year on, you can start thinking, okay, what I have to do next. Okay, so my suggestions to first year will be build a good relationship. You have a lot of time to have a I mean to build a good profile for masters, PhD, or even for the good job. I mean you can get a good job in IITs just by working for like 6 months, and you don't have to worry from the first year that I have to get a good job and anything.
Right. Well, okay, but yeah, people do have their own opinions. Like especially being here from like working from home, like students are. So it's just that parents have they have parental pressure as well, right?
I
So
agree.
like how can you convince your parents regarding the same? Like did you had something like that? Like you had a very wonderful seniors, I must say. But like were a parental pressure something that you experienced? Didn't
So yeah, my family is also like they also want me to do job. Okay, they knew that I mean I'm doing the IT just to get a good job. Okay, and everyone is. So I knew that there is a parental pressure. Okay, there is a family pressure. So what I did, that I after I said to myself that whatever I'm going to do in the future, okay, it all depends on me. I'm not going to give a burden on my family, okay, and they don't have to think about me from now on. So like currently I'm doing my masters. My family doesn't have any problem because they are not spending money, okay, on me, or they knew that okay he is doing work, he's earning as well, and that's fine. Okay, so if you try to become independent, if you do not put a pressure on your family will support you. What I have realized talking to my other friends as well, that if because your family wants your best, okay, so if they see you, okay, you have got a funded masters, if you have got a funded PhD, okay, and you unless you have to support your family members or something like that, then that may be a issue. Okay, but if your family thinks or your parents think that okay he is independent, then they will allow you to follow your dreams.
all right. So that brings us to the end of my questionnaire, and like I like to ask the participants if they have any questions, they can ask Dhiraj Bhaiya, and also please call up your friends if they have any questions regarding MS
Yeah.
and PhD. They can ask it too.
Okay, so hello, Bhaiya.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a question similar to what you said, that if I choose to, do some sort of job and amass a certain amount of wealth before I go into further studies or research or anything, will that be a wise choice, or should I just focus on, going into, because I'm in biochemistry right now, Department of Biochemistry, and I wanted to do something on those lines, medical AIML sort of those lines, and I want to go into the core thing, but I am aware of the fact that there are not many high paying jobs available. So is going into research before you got what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah. So it's a personal choice, I would say. Okay. I mean, if you want to accumulate a wealth before, for the 2 years before going for a master's or the PhD, it's fine, but it is not required. Okay. You can, if you get, I would suggest you that if you get an offer immediately after the bachelor's, accept it. Master's and PhD, accept it and come to the US rather than going for the, rather than going for the job.
Okay.
Because especially in biochemistry, I would say there are a lot of opportunities in US um, after the PhD. And I know there are not lots of many opportunities in back in India.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Yeah.
Bhaiya, I had actually two questions. One, how is the undergrad performance related to your admissions in masters or PhD?
Yeah, this is a good question. See, recently we were also interviewing one guy. Okay, he was from IT country, and the reason why I'm saying this example, because you can compare me and him. So my advisor denied just after just after seeing his CV, and one of the reason was his CGPA was low, and the second thing, when he talked to me over call, um, he was not able to speak properly. Okay, so I just told to my advisor that there is a huge gap in his, research, in his profile. So your CGPA definitely matters. Try to keep your CGPA above 8. Okay, and then if you are focusing on research-based masters or PhD, you need to have a good research profile as well. Okay, so how you can build a good research profile, uh, what I suggest to my juniors is that from the second year start working under the professors. Make sure that by the end of fourth year, you have worked under three professors, at least three professors, and these three professors come from your college or from other universities. It doesn't matter. Okay, but you need to have at least three projects, and you need to have at least one paper out of these three projects. Okay, so you have to decide when you should do. So one thing you can do, like when you are in third year, you can go for research internship in IITs or foreign, and you can work under a professor, and you can select two professors from your own university college like IIT, and you can work under him in your second or third or even the fourth year. And I think you are in BTech, so one of the project is BTech project, right? So you will have a one advisor from there. So find one more advisor, uh, and that as a side project.
भैया एक और क्वेश्चन था.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I am doing my dual degree in metallurgy now, but
Okay.
I am highly interested in physics. So can I do my PhD in physics later?
Yeah, you can do. So if you build, मतलब तुम एक अपनी एक ऐसी प्रोफाइल बनाओ like physics में, and like and I'm sure कि physics and metallurgy का जरूर connections होगा कुछ ना कुछ उस area में. Try to build in that area, and then you can get a PhD. There is no problem. I mean, if you want to change the domain from any field, what you have to do is that you have to build a profile. You have to start building the profile in that area. Okay, I changed my from mechanical to CS only because I could have a good profile.
Thank you.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Yeah.
This is Kayur.
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to ask that for someone working in data science domain in a
Mhm.
job with no prior experience in research, how should he proceed into building a research profile so that he can apply, suppose for MS in future? So how to
Yeah,
build a profile for this scenario for research?
yeah, yeah. That's a good question. And one example I would like to give. Recently, one guy from IIT Bombay, he contacted us and for the PhD program. And when my advisor went through his CV, there was no research paper in his CV, but his CV was so impressive that my advisor became too I mean he was enthusiastic to hire him, and even my advisor wanted to apply for one scholarship program, and if he would have got selected in that scholarship program, he would have got a stipend of $35,000, and which is like a very good stipend, especially in Virginia State. So what I saw in his profile, I mean, I have seen his CV. So he has worked on a lot of projects. Okay, he had worked in Microsoft, and then he had I mean, although he could not publish the paper, but he had at least 2 to 3 professors and whom he has worked. So what I would suggest you is, one, your industrial experience is definitely going to stand out. Okay, so other thing that you can do is, you can, like, even when you are working, and I'm sure right now it's work from home, or even if it is not work from home, you can connect to professors or alumni who are in US or in other universities, and you can ask them if I can contribute in their projects in data science or ML. Okay, and if they tell you yes, okay, then you can just contribute in their projects, and you will get a credibility. Okay, and you can add in your CV, you will get a like letter of recommendation from the professors, and you will have a good research profile. So if you find at least 2 professors, uh, maybe from IIT, or maybe from your own college, or maybe like if you're connected to me, and if I ask my advisor and if he agrees, then it's fine. So um, you can still build a profile, and you have to connect to the professors, at least 2 professors. This is my suggestion, and you can work from India remotely. You don't have to come anywhere, go to anywhere.
Okay, thank you, Bhaiya.
Shoko, you are.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Yeah, yeah.
I am Shubham Deshmukh, third year
Hmm.
mechanical. I have 2 questions. One
Hmm.
question is regarding decisions, how to choose between MS and PhD, and also second question is the interdisciplinary research is going to boom in the future, or only the very specific core oriented research are always needed in the society?
So ये सेकंड क्वेश्चंस का मैं ये रिप्लाई दूंगा लाइक कि इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी डेफिनेटली बूम होगी, स्पेशली इन यूएस. Okay, because I can tell you there are a lot of funding coming from federal government, state governments, to the universities to do research in interdisciplinary background. Okay, whether it is in agriculture, whether it is in medical, biotech, I mean, there are lots of opportunity. So if you are in, uh, I was recently reading an article, and that author said that he was not good in physics or chemistry and biology in particular domain. So what he did is that he combined the physics, chemistry, biology, and he became good in that. So he knew that he is not 100% good in physics, or he is not going to, he will not be able to compete the physics students or chemistry student or biology student. But if he combine these skills, or if he combine these, he will be able to stand out in the crowd. So um, definitely there are a lot of opportunities in interdisciplinary. And regarding the MS and PhD, so like if you have multiple MS offers, this is the advice that I got from my senior. He is right now in UC Berkeley, and he told me, like, and I totally agree with his point now, that if you have a multiple MS offers, try to choose that MS offer that is giving you a funding. Okay, because so that you can unless you are rich or you are willing to go for like a student loan, but try to have try to accept that MS offer in which you are like going to have a funding. And one of the reason is after the masters you still have a flexibility. Like suppose you are choosing a masters in computer science, okay, but you want to go for like product management. I mean, you want to do the job in project management, so you can still do that. Okay, so you have a flexibility. But when you go for PhD, you have to make sure that the area that you are selecting is the same area that you want to work for next 30-40 years. Okay, there you cannot be flexible. If you do the like if I do the PhD in like in agriculture science, I'll have to spend my next 40 years in this agriculture science. Okay, so in PhD, all it matters is your advisor. I mean, what is his research interest and what's your research interest. It doesn't matter like whether you are in Stanford or any other universities. So here, I mean, because whatever the research that you are going to do in PhD, that's going to stay with you for next 40 years. Okay, so the I mean strategy to select the MS and PhD offers is totally different. In MS, you try to accept the that offer that gives you funding, and as well as have a like you can still get a good job after your MS. But in PhD, you have to make sure that that area is the same that you are looking for.
Great explanation. Thank you, Gail.
So no, welcome.
Somewhere your mic is not working.
Yeah.
Okay, she'll type.
Okay. So where is the chat?
I did.
Okay.
So
The last time Microsoft Team I had used when I was in Excel, because the company used the Microsoft Team.
there's a point she types. I can ask one question, right? So
Sure.
Right. So, being in like a big nice university, like there must be many more projects that are simultaneously being worked upon, right? So, what are other future tech you believe in, like have a great capabilities other than AI?
That's great. So cloud, of course, cloud computing, aging. I mean, and then you can say right now they are talking about augmented reality.
Yeah.
Of course, it has a like lot of opportunities in India. Sorry, in India, even in US. So, of course, apart from AI, cloud, and still I would say people. There is a one professor in University of Illinois, and see if you check out her like Twitter account, she always debate about ML and programming language. Okay, because programming language like um, programming language, you know that you are setting the rules of the whatever the outcomes you want, and in ML you are not setting the rules. So she still thinks that there is a ML will not replace the typical programming or typical software that you that used to happen. So some of the like hottest tech trends, you can say cloud, augmented reality, MLAI, of course, there, and you can say I mean, all the tech trends that are closely related to ML or
One.
that are focusing on automating the
Yeah.
process.
What about quantum computing?
Yeah, it has a great opportunity, especially in US, and it has a, I mean, you can say opportunities in all the domains.
Right. Yeah. So actually, I was personally looking out for quantum computing courses and everything. Yeah, so Swami has a question that are there any resources that you would recommend for someone aiming to for an application-based AI or ML research while in college?
resources means learning
Yeah, something to learn.
skills. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, what I would suggest is, if when you are in college, that go to the Kaggle and you'll find a lot of problems there. Okay, you can solve that. Second thing that you can do is, uh, there are, like, suppose you want to go in AI in medical, and not recently, I would say in 2020, Coursera published one course, AI in medical especially. You can just, I mean, go through that course, do the programming assignments. It will help you a lot, and that, I mean, that's what personally had helped me. So, I mean, there are a lot of online courses like on Coursera that are especially designed for that particular domain.
Yes. Also, like, so if this is asked, so like when you are preparing for these, when you are preparing these courses, right? So, do you think that these courses also help you in the college interview process for internships and third year placement?
Yeah, especially in the third year placements, of course. I mean, internships and placement, of course, it will matter. During the like PhD and MS applications, I used to write in my CV that, okay, I have done these courses in under the section of relatable courses. But nowadays, I don't write those courses in my CV because I don't need them. So, I mean, my CV don't need the details of that courses. So it matters. I mean, one of the experience I would say, he is a senior from IIT VHSL. He was in mechanical and he was interviewing for a one company. Okay, and his research in pure mechanical in aerospace. So he told me that when he was interviewing for that company, he mentioned about a one course. Okay, and he had enrolled for that course in Virginia Tech. Okay, and he is currently doing the PhD, and he didn't enroll for that course. I mean, he just asked to the professor, okay, can I attend your class? And that course was from electronics. So he said okay, and he just went to the class and he listened to his lectures, and that helped him to in the interview. So I can definitely tell you that if you're doing these courses, if you're doing these online courses or the like Kaggle projects, it helps you in interview because you have a lot of things to speak. And if you don't have a personal experience, you will not be able to speak in the interview.
Right. So this is where research and internship wala part go hand in hand together in the preparation part, right? Okay. Okay. That, I guess that is it for this part.
I had one question. Yeah, bhaiya. So this is Archit. I'm from third year mechanical. I had a very generalized type of question. As you mentioned earlier, the more we know about the research we are trying to get into, it is better, right? The more earlier we get into that stuff. Personally speaking, I am interested towards the core side. And as you spoke, there are a lot of interdisciplinary branches to seek into. So I wanted to know more about a certain topic. See, to be completely frank, I have been working on a project. I think I'm liking it, but I don't know if I would like to work into it for 40 years, as you mentioned earlier. So means how can I get views from others and have an informed decision? Because interest is one thing and the development in that means the monetization of that topic is another thing, right? So, and one more thing that I noticed that the research in our institute is more towards physics and science based, while the research projects in foreign universities are more intended towards the commercial approach. So, could you guide on that?
I agree. So yeah, I mean, see, I also come from the mechanical background, and I mean, one thing I would suggest that it is very difficult to decide a particular area of interest. Okay, it happens with everyone. Okay, so I mean, suppose you might be interested in fluid mechanics right now. Okay, but if you get a like position of, suppose you have to work on aerospace, okay, or on some kind of like modeling that we do in, I think, machine design. So I mean, b- whether you have to go for that PhD position to do the research in that, what that's why I told that when you work on under the professors, okay, when you have when you do a lot of projects in a different domains, you get to know which domain is interested for you. I mean, so when I was in second year, I didn't decide to go entirely in computer science. Okay, uh, in the when I was in second year, I explored all the options. I was trying to do the project in fluid mechanics. I also contacted to the professor of machine design. But by the end of second year, I realized that mechanical engineering is not good for me. There was just one domain that really interested me, and that was industrial management. Okay, so and one of the reasons why I think I got interested in that domain is it was closely related to management, or you can say sometimes you can also apply the ML or the maths. So uh, I mean, by the end of not by the end of by the end of second year or early phase of third year, I was thinking to make my career in industrial management. Okay, but from there on, when I got to know that okay, I can go the ML, okay, and can have a good profile in computer science, from there and I started on. So suppose even if you have decided on one area, but and work in that area under the professors, try to learn the skills, online courses, projects. There are so many sources available, and you will develop the interest over the time, and you will get to know whether the machine design interests you or the fluid mechanics. But only thing is possible when you are trying to put the effort to explore all the options that you have. So I suggest my juniors that you need to explore all the options that you have.
Yeah, and one more question, Bhaiya. You mentioned about that Twitter having activity on Twitter. So means how do you pursue that? Means you go and
Yeah,
follow each and every interested
that's
professor.
that's that's a good question. So generally we assume that Twitter is for like political purposes, but no, it's wrong. So I was in a conference last month, and I mean the industry people, like they had a one session and they talked specifically about the Twitter. Okay, and they said, look, we people are watching you on the social media, what you post, what you tweet, and whatever. Okay, so if you post a valuable contents, or if you like that valuable content, or if you engage in a, like good contents, so what I do is uh, I mean, of course, I also post sometimes my views on whatever skills that I'm learning or my achievements, but I regularly engage with the conversation with the people in my area. Okay, so I get noticed by the professors, by the recruiters, or by the other people, and that will help you a lot. Okay, one of the reason why I got this funded MS position is because I was engaging on the Twitter with the ML people. Okay, and they noticed me. So if there would have not been Twitter, probably I would have not got the master's position. So you have to engage with the right kind of people.
Right. So, okay. So before any further questions, I would like to say that anyone who's interested for research based, services like SOP review or just general guidance could also fill this form, and it would be very like that could help them. So yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, right. So I guess that was it, maybe, and yes, thank you very much for like discussing all of this with us, and for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you very much, and it was lovely to have you here.
Yeah, I love sharing my
Thank you, Bhaiya.
experiences. And if you ever want to like know more about me, you can connect me on Twitter, on LinkedIn. We can have a good discussion.
All right. What's your Twitter ID?
Thank you, Bhaiya.
So my Twitter ID is, of course, the Dhiraj, Dhiraj, at the rate of Dhiraj, ruler, RULER.
Yeah. Okay, so
So
okay.
in my feed, you will never see the post of the politicians. Very, very few. Okay. Most of my, even if I scroll my feed, I will see there is some position, a postdoc, PhD, masters in a domain, and I have sent this position to a lot of my juniors of my
Yeah.
IDBH.
While researching about this questionnaire yesterday, I went to Twitter once, like to see what could I get, what would like from get from there. Like, yeah, it was a very nice Twitter handy. Okay, so thank you very much, Bia, and it was very lovely to have you here.
Yeah, thank you all, and yeah, bye bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhaiya.
I think that's a wrap, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Ayam. Thanks, SCS team. Thanks, research community team.
Thank you, Bia. Thank you.
Chalo, cool.
Thank
Just remember to share this link with me once this is done, right?
Okay. Sir, I will send the recording.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir.